Good morning or good day. I'm not sure what time you're going to see this, but hey, I looked at everybody's quiz from yesterday and I saw a couple things. Most people did a pretty good job, but almost everyone missed a couple of problems. So I want to go over those problems or something similar to them so you don't make that mistake. And then I'll have you do a couple of problems to show that you got it. Okay, so this first problem here says 6k equals 48. I want to remind you that in your notes, and these kind of questions need to be just in your head when you're solving problems. The first question we want to say is what is happening with the variable? And what we mean, of course, is are we adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing? I can see that 6 and k are multiplying. And I know that because I don't see a plus sign between them. I don't see a minus sign between them. And I don't see a fractiony looking thing like we see over here, right? So I know those are multiplying because when a number called a coefficient is stuck to a variable, it means they're multiplying. So the answer to the first question, what's happening with the variable? Multiplying. What is the inverse operation? Well, I know the inverse operation from multiplication is division. So then do it to both sides. Okay, great, we will. So what's the inverse operation of multiply by 6? Well, that would be divide by 6. And of course, I'm going to show that with my slash. Okay, and then let's look at the last step. Step 4, it says simplify, cancel, and do the math. All right, I'm going to cancel. That means I can bring my k down. And then I'm going to do the math. 48 divided by 6 is 8. And I'm done. Okay, let's look at the next one. First question, what's happening with the variable? Looks like the variable is dividing. What is the inverse operation? Well, the inverse operation from division is multiplication. Step 3 says do it to both sides. Okay, I will. So the inverse operation, if m is being divided by 3, then the inverse would be let's multiply it by 3. Okay, there we go. We did it to both sides, and then it says simplify, cancel, and do the math. I've already canceled. There's my variable. Do the math. 15 times 3 is 45, and I'm done again. Okay, so hopefully we've got that down. But what I'm seeing is that when we start to throw a negative in, that's when people are getting confused. So I want you to look really, really carefully here at this problem. This is not a subtraction problem. Ladies and gentlemen, if this were a subtraction problem, it would look like this: 6 minus k or k minus 6. If it was a subtraction problem, the minus sign or negative sign would be between the two terms, right? But that is not what we're seeing. It's not between the two terms. It's not subtraction. What we're seeing here is that we are still multiplying. These two are stuck together. It just so happens that this is a negative 6. And the negative 6 is multiplying by the k. So don't let that negative sign confuse you. Okay? It's not in the middle of the two terms, so this is not subtraction. These are multiplying. This is negative 6 times k. Okay? So let's look up here. It says, what is happening with the variable? Well, we just pointed out that negative 6 is multiplying by k. What's the inverse operation? Well, the inverse of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide, and I'm going to be careful to divide by negative 6 on both sides. Okay, the last thing says simplify, cancel it out, and do the math. So these negative 6s are going to cancel out. I'm going to bring down my k. 48 divided by negative 6 is negative 8. And there we go. Okay, same thing here. First question, what's happening? Well, I see that the m and the negative 3 are dividing. What's the inverse operation? M is now dividing by negative 3. So the inverse operation would be to multiply by negative 3. Okay, do it to both sides. I did. Step 4 says simplify, just cancel and do the math. Here we go. M equals 15 times negative 3 is negative 45. Okay, so I've just got a few problems for you to do today to show me that you can do the negatives and that you can recognize, very importantly, that you can recognize that this means that I'm multiplying x by negative 5. And this means that I'm multiplying negative 7 by y. Okay? And this means that I'm multiplying negative w times, or negative 2 times w. Okay? So just try to recognize those, and that will help a lot. All right, thanks, you guys. Get your assignment done, and please have a fabulous day.